Hi everyone, Bernard here with another Citizen vlog, and it's a City Pass today as we delve into the wonderful world of the lost world of Manchester City with Derek Hammond and Gary Silke. We'll have a regular look through and see what they come up with, and a few little thoughts of mine or stuff that I've got to complement what they've got in the little book there. And of course it inspired me to do my little version, which is the found world of Manchester City, when I bid for a member of City memorabilia and then open them live. And obviously there's lots of those if you check the playlists, and you can check what I'm buying, and you'll see some stuff that I've got on this on these vlogs, and also you'll see some stuff that they missed. Perhaps Derek Hammond and Gary Silke haven't covered it all, but hey, pretty much so, pretty comprehensive, these two guys. Please, if you're new to this channel, push the subscribe button, push the bell notification so you know these little vlogs are coming out. That'll be absolutely fantastic. Right, yeah, we're looking at 5 things today. We're looking at the Wembley game, Wembley board game. Remember that? Or remember that? You should do. It's been around long enough. FA Cup Centenary Coins, Saturday's Heroes, posing in your shirts, and Match Weekly. There you go, Match Weekly. So 5 things we're going to look at today. Yeah, so the first thing, Wembley, obviously the game. I mean, Wembley, the game, it's been around since, what, 1952, and just quoting from the book, based on the English Football FA Challenge Cup competition, the most gripping features and exciting uncertainties of which is reproduces with vivid and truly amazing fidelity. No one plays board games anymore. It's all down, well, they do, it's a growing thing again. It's all down to attention span and lack of imagination and wanting excitement served up on a plate instead of having to work at it. And that's just us, never mind the kids. It was the thrill of the FA Cup draw and the possibility of an alternate universe upset that used to make Wembley so addictive back in the 70s, well, about the 50s and the 60s. The reproduction of all those associations and assumptions that electrify the simple twinning of 2 clubs' names, and it's Manchester City at home to Arsenal or Darlington or Liverpool. We could go on. It was tension inherent in the inevitable reduction of 32 clubs to a historic final pairing, the chance to witness a spunky lower league outfit confound the Darwinian bias that enabled top clubs to make more money, to spend it on star players, to score more goals, and even claim the right to throw loaded dice. So yeah, it was all number based and heavily based towards the better teams. Now, my first version of Wembley that I remember playing as a kid was I must have had a 1960s version. I mean, there's various versions appeared, obviously different boards, different styles. And it didn't have Manchester City in it. I mean, I remember having to manually, you had spare cards, you had a couple of spare cards. I had to manually put Manchester City in. Now, whether I'd picked up a Wembley from, say, 63-ish or something like that, because that's when City were relegated to the 2nd division, they didn't have all the teams in it. So obviously some teams were actually kept out. So I was absolutely gutted when I got this Wembley game and City weren't in it. And obviously we've had different versions since, and City do appear. But yeah, it's just one of those things that was quite unusual. Board Game Geek still rates the game. It rates all board games. It still gets a 6.1 rate, and I think it deserves a little bit more than that. If you can pick these up on various auction sites, eBay and all different sites. I'm going to mention eBay because that's the most popular, isn't it? Amazon will have it as well. So yeah, have a look round, have a play. It's a great game. It's up to 3 to 8 players. Absolutely fantastic. It's a great game. But I never covered it in my little. I used to do board game reviews. I've not so much time to do them just at the moment, but. I never actually covered Wembley. I would have loved to have covered Wembley and do Wembley. Anyway, thanks for them for looking at Wembley. If you remember that, have you got any memories yourself of playing Wembley, or do you still play it? I mean, it's Gibson games was the latest editions. Right, on to the next one. FA Cup Centenary Coins. Yeah, FA Cup Centenary Coins. Here we go. Again, reading from the book. Good old Esso. Every year they brought out something great for us to collect. In 1972, it was no different. The handsome FA Cup Centenary 1872 to 1972 brochure and coin collection was such a must-have item for every young boy that silence must surely have descended on the forecourts of Shell garages while the offer was on, with tumbleweed blowing around between deserted BP Jet and Cleveland pumps. There were 30 of these silver bright, superbly minted centenary coins to collect, one per visit to the Esso station. The album to house them represents a modern dad tax of 15p. Didn't get the album. See, I didn't know anyone with a car in the early 70s, so I was struggling a bit to get these sort of things. I've mentioned this before. Swap your 30 coins from the Wanderers and Blackburn Olympic to the big gold-coloured centrepiece coin, minted after all the others a week after Leeds United's Wembley victory over Arsenal. obviously in the Centenary Cup final. All for the City coin commemorating those 4 periods Saturday afternoons back in 1904, 1934, 1956 and 1969. City's greatest FA Cup moments in history to date. Yes, I think we've added a couple, haven't we, since then? But there we go. Here we go. What's this down here? The aforementioned coin. I don't have all the coins as I never collected them, but I bought this on one of my found video vlogs, not got now found, the found world of Manchester City. So there we go. There's the 4 dates on the back if you can make that out. So I've got my little coin. It's quite good as well. It's a good, it's like a 10p, you know, good quality coin. Fantastic from Esso. So there's my version of that anyway. So I bet you're jealous now, aren't you? But so you can get that. You can get that. I don't know how much. I didn't pay much for that. Pennies. So wasn't much at all. But thank you, Esso, again for another thing which I missed out on as a kid because no one I knew owned a car when I was a kid. So I never got things like that. And on to the next one, of course. We've got posing in your shirts, of course. Well, we're used to it now, aren't we? But look at those pictures of me. Look at those images of me back in the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, it's very. You couldn't really get replica. You could get replica shirts, but they weren't the be all and end all that you get now. They were very basic, obviously. So obviously you've got images now. I'm going to put a couple of images. Gary James, very well known there, Dr. Gary James of Manchester City, and his dog Kim there in his little kit. And you've got also Matthew Kershaw there posing in his kit, and you've got the wonderful red and white stripe as well, which is there. That's a bit later, isn't it? But obviously Gary James and myself obviously go for the old sky blue, and I have the old red and black to that as well. Yeah, and reading from the book, it was a magic feeling pulling on your team's shirt, shorts and socks, and then looking down at the badge. I mean, look at this. Did you see the state of my socks? I'll put it back up again. Have you seen the state of my socks? And someone tell me to pull my socks up. Absolutely shocking. Scruffy bugger. And then looking down at the badge, it was a kind... Well, we didn't have a badge, did we? I don't know where these guys are getting from. We didn't have a badge in my day. We couldn't afford a badge. Just a basic shirt. It was the kind of occasion that warranted pestering your mother to get the camera out. Ma'am, take it now, take it, while I'm waiting impatiently between shots while she wound it on. Standing up with your arms folded with one foot on the ball, or crouched down holding the ball with splayed out fingers. It wasn't your mum anymore. It was the official club photographer on photo call day taking the photo. Well, I never imagined I was a star getting my photos taken. I just wanted my photos taken. And my mother always used to put a number, either number 11 on the back or number 7 because she used white ribbon. And she couldn't do a number 8. Colin Bell was my favourite, but she couldn't do a number 8. I mean, it'd be impossible with the white ribbon. I just have to have a 7 or an 11. That was about it, really. Anything else was a bit of a struggle because it had curves in it. So yeah, I'm sure we've had, even now, as I say, we have our little kits, don't we? But it's nice to look back at those kits in those days. It's say weren't a regular sight on the streets. Let's put it that way. When you played on the park in your City kit, you were pretty proud of it. You were pretty proud of yourself. Absolutely fantastic. And on to the next thing. Saturday's Heroes. Yeah, you remember this? I mean, this is still a time when it's very rare you got to see the FA Cup final and various international games, but you didn't get to see your team on the telly that much. So Saturday's Heroes came along. Just reading from the book, was produced by BBC's nationwide news programme and did a number of behind-the-scenes reports from Main Road during the 76-77 season, focusing largely on Colin Bell's comeback attempt. Meanwhile, says Andy Foden, they also launched a competition to find the most promising schoolboy footballers in Britain, with high hopes of winning the top prize of training sessions at City. Young Andy entered his regional heat in Plymouth and predictably failed miserably on all 3 tests devised by Tony Buck and City and England coach Bill Taylor. Yeah, they go on to show the images there, but I don't need something in the book, do I? Because this is mine. This is from then. This is from 1977-78. And I think we got this free. I don't think we paid for it. I mean, I think you pay about £5 now if you wanted to bid for this. But I mean, it's falling apart a bit. It's had better days, but I mean, you've got great images like Dennis Stewart there at Wembley. And of course, you've got the fantastic image that still appears now. It keeps appearing all the time, doesn't it? Of the team and the backroom staff outside Main Road. I mean, obviously that's a picture that will appear time and time again. But it's great because in those days, even then when I was 18 or 19, very rarely in the media got anything on City, so it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that was a great programme to watch on TV, and it was that's a great image of the team there, team squad. You think about it, the documentary with Malcolm Allison called City. I mean, that was another thing. Even though it wasn't great, it was wonderful to watch your team on the television in a documentary. And we've had one quite recently. It's done quite well on Amazon, I believe. So that was interesting. Yeah, but Saturday's Heroes. I mean, if you're a man of my age, you'll remember that, and you'll remember that actual image there of him coming out. I mean, I would have been there at that game. He used to come out and wave to the fans from the centre circle. Big thing with Nationwide. Everyone's quite chuffed. They're quite chuffed to get the media. Now we can't stand the sight of them half the time, can we? But we were quite chuffed It's quite chuffed then to get them. And the last thing we're going to look at today is Match Weekly. Yes, Match Weekly. We've covered other magazines. It's our day to have a look at Match Weekly. Just quoting from the book. Match Weekly was launched on the 6th of September 1979, 3 weeks into the 79-80 season by Peterborough-based publishers EMAP. Editor Melvin Bagnall declared, "Our object is simple: to improve on anything currently available." Obviously having a dig at shoot there, weren't they? Which had enjoyed a relatively unopposed decade in market dominance. What immediately grabbed this 13-year-old about the newcomer on the newsagent shelf was the way it was printed right to the edge, making Shoot's white borders suddenly look very, very passé. Inside there was a stellar lineup of writers: Keegan, Clough, Ardiles, Coppell, Atkinson, Jimmy Hill. Even instead of focus on, there was match makers with loads more questions. There were more colour pages, match facts with marks out sent for every player in every game. And just in case anyone was still differing about parting with their 25p, there was a free trans image sticker thrown into the mix. After a 5-year love affair with Shoot, I jumped ship to Match in an instant, and wasn't the only one. After a long battle, Match eventually won that with higher circulation. Yeah, I mean, obviously I was a goal man, then I was a Shoot man, and by the time Match Weekly come around, I was grown up. I discovered girls, and I was earning money and getting wages and going out, so I wasn't really getting as many magazines as I was when I was a young man, a child and a teenager. So yeah, I miss Match Week. I do remember it appearing, and as I say, I did stop getting Shoot around the same time anyway, not because of Match Weekly, but because of other things in my life. I mean, if you look back at Match Weekly, at its peak, 242,000 circulation at its highest peak. Back in December the 10th, December 2010, it had a circulation of 57,000. So it was doing, I mean, 242 was at its peak in the 70s, 80s. So it went down to about 57, and as late as July 2018, it just had a 20,000 circulation. It's now digital as well, but you can also subscribe to it. I think there's a Facebook page as well for it. Just says Match now. It doesn't say Match Weekly, so I assume it's the same organisation. I've not really looked, but yes, it did see off Shoot, didn't it? It saw off Shoot, who went, by the way, in June 2008. So it did finally get rid of Shoot, which is such a shame, because it was a great magazine. But it's like anything, if you stand still in this world, you get someone overtaking you, and that's how it's always going to be. Anyway, that's the 5 things today. Shared some interesting things for you. It sort of piqued your interest. Obviously, looked at the Wembley board game, FA Cup Centenary Coins, Saturday's Heroes from Nationwide, posing in your shirt. We still all do it now, don't we? But not full kit, so we get called something if we're in a full kit now, don't we? And of course, Match Weekly, which I think became Match and is just called Match now, as far as I know. And I've just followed it on Facebook. I didn't even know it was there till I was reading this thing. So it does some good stuff, doesn't it? So I'll follow them on Facebook. See what they come up with. They've got some good stuff. There's a couple of things on City when I was looking through, so that was fantastic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. And I'll be back with another one of these very, very soon. Please check my links on screen, and of course, if you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I always check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back. And there's lots of stuff I put on there about City, and of course I do little vlogs on movies and TV drama as well. So there's stuff on Twitter and Facebook I stick on there that I don't necessarily do a vlog on. So if you're interested, please follow and friend me on there. And if you can look at my little website, moviegamenostalgia.com, for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 1900s and 2000s, and board games, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Yep, so thanks for these guys again. My thanks to Derek Hammond and Gary Silke, who also inspired me to do my Got the Found World of Manchester City, which is my sister vlog to this, really. So my thanks to them again. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Anyway, whatever you're going to do with this day, have a great one. Look after yourself, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. And hopefully you'll join me again for another citizen vlog, past or present, very, very soon. Bird is saying goodbye for now. Thanks for watching.